Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being subscribed. If you are not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and subscribe. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this conversation. I was thinking about whether I was going to talk about this story, but as you've probably heard, the news around Meghan Markle and Prince Harry that they were involved in a quote unquote near catastrophic car chase by paparazzi in New York City. When I first heard the story, I was like, dang, that's crazy. And I won't even lie. My first initial thought when I heard about the story, didn't hear the details, but just heard that they were involved in an almost catastrophic car chase by paparazzi, I immediately thought about Princess Diana, because as you know, many years ago, unfortunately, she and her boyfriend at the time, I think his name was Dodi Fayed, they lost their lives in a crash due to paparazzi really chasing them down. So that's what my first initial thoughts were about Princess Diana. So when I saw the story in People, it said that their spokesperson said they were pursued by highly aggressive paparazzi and that it lasted over 2 hours. So immediately when I saw that and it said that their spokesperson said this, I'm not even going to lie. After hearing that, I just questioned the details surrounding the story. So Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, along with her mom, they were in New York City. She was being honored by the Steinem Foundation. And I previously talked about this, where she was being honored by the Steinem Foundation. And I'm going to address something really quick. Not that it even really matters, because I don't really care what people think I think about Meghan Markle. Someone made a comment and said, wow, you're such a Meghan hater. That is such an easy phrase to use by anybody that is not freaking praising her or worshiping her or idolizing her or just saying nothing but great things about her, that you're either a hater of Meghan or you're jealous of her. I'm neither. I'm definitely not jealous of Meghan. I have no desire to have her life. And I'm definitely not a hater, because a hater of her is someone that really hates everything about her. And I don't. Haters, they just really don't even have a real reason for their dislike or negativity or whatever they may have against a person. They may not like the way the person looks. They don't like this, that, and the other petty things. Okay. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't hate Meghan. What I don't like is the fact that I feel, my personal opinion, and I am entitled to that, someone who chooses to share content on my platform that I created to do this in my spare time as I feel like doing it, is that I don't like the fact that I feel, made herself out to be a victim based on her ethnicity, when she never stood in her ethnicity as being a black woman. Even though she's not black, she isn't. She's biracial. Her mom is black and her father is Caucasian. And in my personal opinion, I felt that she used that to play on the sympathies of the Oprah Winfreys, the Gayle Kings, the other people that had influence, like Tyler Perry and all of those people. And based on things that I have seen, to me, it looks like she's discarded people in her life for the sake of the come up. And when she had the opportunity to get out, she tried to, in my opinion, use her ethnicity and then saying, I didn't understand what it felt like to be a black woman until I got with my husband. So I have the right to feel that way. That doesn't make me a hater. That makes me someone that is critiquing things that I see specifically that I don't care for, and I have the right to not do so. That doesn't make me out to be some person on some Meghan hate train. Everything that I see, I don't like it. It's ridiculous. But people who feel like you're a hater or whatever, they're not going to listen to reasoning when it comes to things like that anyway. So that's why I said I don't even really care. But I just thought I would address it since I am doing another commentary where she happens to be the topic of conversation. And honestly, this is a big story, so I'm going to talk about it. So like I said, when I heard about it, I was like, dang, that's messed up. That's crazy. But then when I saw this in People and it said that their spokesperson said this, I just started to question it because one, not from New York City. I visited there on a number of occasions, right? I've hailed taxis down, I've caught cabs, I've been in Ubers, and I've walked the city blocks. I don't understand how there could have been this so to speak, relentless pursuit aggressively by paparazzi for over 2 hours and resulted in multiple near collisions, as the story says, involving other drivers on the road, pedestrians, and 2 NYPD officers. That's what the story says. It just makes me question it. 1, and 2, if you consider Princess Di and her boyfriend, they weren't at some event. They were minding their own business. They were in a car. And back then, the paparazzi was extremely aggressive. These days now, not saying I know a whole lot about how they operate, but I believe that when that happened, that constituted a lot of change within the paparazzi industry, where you don't really see a whole lot of things happening like that anymore. 1, and 2, she was at an event where she was being honored. It wasn't like she and Harry were out on date night and paparazzi spotted them in New York City and wanted to get the footage, wanted to get some video clips and some photos that they could use to sell. It was a red carpet event. Yeah, they were leaving the red carpet event and they definitely deserve to be able to have their privacy and mind their own business going to wherever they were going to go to after the fact. I get that. But it just made me question it. So after seeing that story, not long after the fact, a couple of other stories came out, and Rolling Stone, the cab driver of the cab that Meghan, Harry, and her mom got into, downplays the so-called car chase. So the story is that she and he were in this near catastrophic car chase with paparazzi Tuesday night, and they're saying that it may not be as dramatic as their spokesperson made it sound. And that's exactly what I'm saying when I read the story initially in People and it said their spokesperson was the one that said that they were involved in a near catastrophic collision by aggressive paparazzi. I just question it because I'm like, the police didn't come out and say this, or, somebody that is a neutral party, not their spokesperson or their rep saying this. It made me question it. So it says on Tuesday evening, May 16th, the NYPD assisted the private security team protecting the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Julian Phillips, the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, tells Rolling Stone in a statement. There were numerous photographers that made their transport challenging. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex arrived at their destination and there were no reported collisions, summonses, injuries, or arrests in regard. So at an unrelated press conference, New York City's Mayor Eric Adams condemned the culture of paparazzi, calling the pursuit of unsolicited photos reckless and irresponsible. While he insisted that public safety must always be at the forefront, the mayor also questioned the couple's claims. He says, "I would find it hard to believe that there was a 2-hour high-speed chase." The New York Times reported that the whole trip from a venue where Markle received an award to a police department was about an hour, conflicting with Prince Harry's spokesperson's claim that it took twice as long. After waiting a few minutes at the station, the Associated Press reported that Prince Harry, Markle, and her mom left in a taxi cab. The cab driver, last name Singh, told NBC's local New York station that he'd driven the couple but also downplayed the drama. He says, "I don't think it was in my car, the high-speed chase," he said. "I think that must have been before because we were just making left turns and right turns and that's it. Because we also got stuck behind the garbage truck for a little bit. And then a cop came and started blasting their horn, and then the garbage truck moved, and that's how we got out. He brought them back to the precinct, according to the AP, and the couple gave him a $50 for a $17 fare. The Times reports that Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace had no comment on the report. And then a security expert, he spoke on the situation, and he said it completely makes zero sense. You're in a protected environment, being in their own vehicle. You're with your security. Why would you switch from this chauffeur-protected SUV to a New York City taxi cab during the alleged chase involving the paparazzi? And he also said it makes zero sense to someone who's a New Yorker. You could have gone to a police station in 15 minutes anywhere in New York City, could have gone to a firehouse, go to a governmental building. You could have gone to a hotel where the paparazzi could have been locked out. You could have gone anywhere. You could have been in a much more safe situation, let alone running around New York City in a car. And a former Secret Service agent, he added that in the 3 years he served in the New York Secret Service field office, he says, I don't believe there was ever any high-speed chase that lasted 2 hours. You can actually drive through all 5 boroughs of New York in 2 hours. And he said more video or other evidence would need to come to light to make that claim more credible. And he says, I also find it very unlikely that this occurred for 2 hours and NYPD made 0 arrests. To me, that seems the most bizarre part of the story. Because if they, even though they were not involved in any accidents, but they have proof that these paparazzi were chasing them down to the point where there was a near catastrophic collision, that's reckless driving. That alone is an arrestable offense, if the word arrestable is a word. But I'm just saying it calls into question if the spokesperson is being honest. I'm not here to say that Meghan and Harry were lying. I'm not even saying that it didn't happen at all. But when I initially heard the story, like I said, I initially thought of Princess Di, how she and her boyfriend lost their lives due to paparazzi chasing them down and they crashed. Like, that's scary. No one should ever have anything like that happen to them. But it did call into question the credibility of the spokesperson. And I don't believe the spokesperson would come out here and make a statement if it wasn't approved by either both Harry and Meghan or one of the two parties, because that's their spokesperson and they're being paid to speak to the general public on their behalf. So to me, it just looked a bit attention seeking, in my personal opinion. It wasn't, I guess, enough that she was there being honored by the Steinem Foundation and she got this award. And by the way, the dress that she had on looked beautiful. I'm not even a big gold color person, but I liked the dress on her. And her hair looked nice. But the story about being chased down by paparazzi for almost 2 hours in New York City, it just sounded sketchy. And to me, it almost, like I said, was like someone was trying to correlate she and Harry with Princess Diana, who was Harry's mom, and her boyfriend at the time who lost their lives. I don't think that she was married to the guy at the time. I believe they were just dating. But either way, it was just a tragic situation and no one should have to deal with anything like that. And two, if it really happened, did it really happen that way? Or did it even really happen? Because like I said, you were at an event, a red carpet event where you were being honored. Come out, let them take their pictures, and then you go about your merry way. Maybe that's what they didn't allow them to do outside of the event. I don't know. Not saying that they had the right to do it. But again, you're at an event. You're not out on a date night where you just want your privacy and you want to be left alone. That's the part that it just makes me question. So again, this situation, it just leaves some people with some questions. It leaves some people with doubts. Some people are like believing 100% of it. And it's everyone's right to believe what they want to believe. But for me, it just all sounded extremely questionable. When I initially saw it and I saw that their spokesperson was the one that said it and not the New York Police Department or others that came out and confirmed the story, those who came out and spoke on it, they're pretty much not all 100% opposite of what they're saying, but they're even calling into question that it happened the way that they're saying that it did happen. The mayor, the NYPD, the cab driver of the cab that they were in, because if the paparazzi were chasing them in a relentless way like they were, and they got to the police station and then they switched from the car to the cab, I'm sure the people didn't immediately go away. They were somewhere hanging out. And then once they got in the cab, wouldn't they be following the cab? And the cab driver said that didn't happen while they were in his cab. So it just leaves people with questions. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But I just wanted to talk about it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing and liking this video. I'm Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye.